Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into the work of the incredible Dr. Rhonda Patrick. We've distilled her deep research on longevity down into four really powerful, actionable pillars. Seriously, these are core ideas she believes can fundamentally change the way you age.
So let's kick things off with an idea that might sound a little backwards. We spend so much of our lives trying to avoid stress, right? But what if the right kinds of stress in small, manageable doses are actually the secret sauce our bodies need to get stronger and way more resilient?
And there's a scientific name for this. It's called hormesis. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a vaccine for aging. These brief stressors, things like exercise or a blast of heat, they don't actually harm you. Instead, they flip on these powerful genetic switches inside your cells that kickstart repair, fight off inflammation, and ultimately help your body handle the real chronic stresses of getting older.
So, our first pillar is all about how we can use plants to create this beneficial stress. And it starts with something you probably have in your fridge right now. A perfect example of this is a compound called sulforaphane. You find it in broccoli and other cruciferous veggies. When you eat it, your body sees it as a mild foreign stressor. This little signal flips a huge genetic switch called NRF2. And what NRF2 does is crank up the production of your body's master antioxidant, glutathione, especially in the brain. This whole pathway is so powerful it can even help your body get rid of carcinogens. It's amazing.
But here's the catch. The heat from cooking actually destroys the key enzyme you need to create sulforaphane in the first place. Luckily, there's a super simple hack for this. After you've cooked your broccoli, just sprinkle a little bit of mustard seed powder on top. That powder contains the missing enzyme, and get this, studies show it can boost the amount of sulforaphane you get by 4 times, a 4x increase. Okay, moving on to pillar number 2, key nutrients. Because it's not just about adding stressors, it's also about fixing some major deficiencies. There are critical vitamins and minerals where a huge chunk of the population is falling short, and it has massive consequences for our health down the road. First up, let's talk omega-3s. There's a key blood marker called the omega-3 index, and when you look at the numbers, you see this huge gap. The average person in the US is sitting at around 5%. But in Japan, a country famous for longevity where fatty fish is a diet staple, it's nearly double that, almost 10%. So why does that gap even matter? Well, this number right here says it all. Incredible research shows that people with an omega-3 index of 8% or higher had a 5-year longer life expectancy compared to those who were down at 4%. That is just a staggering difference. So the goal for all of us should be to get that index up to at least 8%. And the protocol to get there for most people is about 2 grams of EPA and DHA every day. You want to make sure you get a high-quality fish oil in what's called the triglyceride form. It's just much easier for your body to absorb. And always store it in the fridge because these fats go bad really easily. This one simple step helps your body put out the fire of inflammation and builds the actual structure of your brain cells. Next up is vitamin D, and wow, the data here is just as shocking. A staggering 70% of the entire US population has insufficient levels. That's defined as being below 30 nanograms per milliliter. The optimal range for longevity, though, seems to be quite a bit higher, somewhere between 40 and 60. And here's why this is so critical. Vitamin D isn't really a vitamin at all, it's a steroid hormone. It travels into the nucleus of your cells and directly controls over 5% of your entire genome. Think about that. For example, one of those genes it controls is the one that makes the enzyme that produces serotonin, the main mood regulator in your brain. The final key nutrient we need to talk about is magnesium. Around 40% of the US population is deficient here, and this shortfall is tied to 2 processes that are just, well, absolutely fundamental to being alive. Okay, get this. Your DNA takes thousands of hits, thousands of breaks every single day just from living. The repair crew, these little enzymes that fix the damage, they absolutely require magnesium to do their job. It's like a key tool for them. On top of that, magnesium is essential for creating ATP, the actual energy that powers every single one of your cells. Dr. Patrick calls a lack of magnesium insidious damage because you don't feel it day to day, but it's slowly accumulating over time. All right, pillar number 3 is where things get really cool and hot. We're talking about using temperature as medicine. It turns out heat and cold are 2 of the most powerful hormetic stressors we have access to, with benefits that can actually mimic intense exercise. And what's so cool is that both ends of the spectrum give you these incredible but very different benefits. A blast of cold gives you a sustained release of dopamine that can last for hours, improving your mood and focus. It also forces your body to create brand new mitochondria, your cell's little power plants. Then you've got heat from a sauna. This actually mimics a moderate cardio workout for your heart and activates something called heat shock proteins, which are like bodyguards for your cells, protecting them from stress.
And when it comes to the sauna, it looks like frequency is everything. A massive study out of Finland found this really powerful dose-dependent effect. Compared to people who only used a sauna once a week, those who went 4 to 7 times a week saw a staggering 66% reduction in their risk for dementia and Alzheimer's. That's just a massive drop in risk.
But it's not just about how often you go, it's also about how long you stay. To really unlock those major benefits, we're talking a 50% reduction in cardiovascular death. The data points to a really clear sweet spot, hitting the sauna 4 to 7 times a week for sessions that last longer than 19 minutes at a temperature around 174 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, for our final pillar, let's pull all of this together. Let's synthesize this information and turn it into a clear framework, a real plan of action.
So here's the strategy. You start by building a really solid foundation. That means correcting those widespread, insidious deficiencies in vitamin D and magnesium. Then, you actively fight the fire of chronic inflammation by getting your omega-3 levels optimized. And once that's solid, you start layering on these hormetic stressors, using plants, heat, and cold to literally build a stronger, more resilient body from the inside out.
You know, every single one of these pillars is built on this core idea that challenging your body is what makes it stronger. So the real question isn't just what you've learned today, but what are you going to do with it? What's the one small stress you'll add to your routine this week? Will it be a cold shower, a trip to the sauna, or maybe just sprinkling a little mustard seed on your broccoli?